I'm gonna show you exactly how to buy products on Alibaba and sell them on Amazon. We'll go over the terms you need to know, what method of shipping you should pick, and then we'll get right into my computer and build out a real-life Amazon shipping plan. Shipping is really not that hard, it just seems complex, so we're gonna simplify it. You really only have one goal. You need to get your product from the supplier's warehouse all the way to the Amazon warehouse. The only problem are all these tiny little bitty annoyances that come in between. But when you understand how the 4 key players work together, it's really not that hard. Player number 1 is the supplier. This guy right over here, the one that is creating your product. The supplier may also be known as the exporter or the seller because they are exporting the goods from their warehouse to you, right? They are selling the goods to you. They may also be known as the consignor. Player number 2 is you. You're the opposite of the supplier. So you may be known as the buyer or the importer or the consignee. Now, player number 3, the carrier. This is simple. The carrier is the person or company that carries your goods from point A to point B. Carries it. It's in the name. Whether it's truck, plane, or boat, if they're carrying it, they could be the carrier. So that it could be UPS, that is FedEx. They could be both known as carriers. Now, where it gets confusing is between the carrier and the freight forwarder. So what is this elusive freight forwarder? The freight forwarder is gonna be your best friend. They do everything that a carrier does. They might even call themselves a carrier, but they also do a whole lot more for you. So when you send your product over from China to Amazon, it's not as easy, unfortunately, as sending an email. Your product is made and now it's sitting at the supplier's warehouse. You're gonna get it from there onto a truck. That truck then takes it to a port. From that port, you gotta get it onto a boat. You gotta cross international waters. So you're going from one country to another. That means customs, fees, paperwork, documents. Then it lands at the port in America, has to get picked up again by another truck, and then finally to an Amazon warehouse. And what your freight forwarder can do is all of that. And your freight forwarder will also include the 5th player, your customs broker. Now, what is that? Like I said, you're going from country to country, so there's a lot of paperwork involved, and your customs broker will handle that for you. Now, if you were to just get a carrier and a customs broker individually to handle this process, it's probably gonna be more expensive than if you got a freight forwarder who would do it all for you. Now we gotta ask the question, do you ship by air or by sea? Well, how fast do you want to go and how much do you want to spend? Air, it's going to be a lot faster, but it's also going to be a lot more expensive. Whereas sea, it's cheaper, it's slower. If you're placing your first order and you got a lower quantity, I always suggest go by air. It's gonna get you into Amazon faster. It's gonna let you test your product out faster. And assuming that your first order is a lower quantity, less than 1,000 units, the price savings probably won't be that much. Sea shipping, you start saving a lot when you're ordering in the thousands of units. So if you're not there yet, don't wait 40 days for sea shipping. Get it by air in 7 to 14 days and get testing right away. Then if your product proves to be great, then order your bigger shipment from sea. Time is money. ExW. This is a shipping term you're gonna see thrown around when you're talking to suppliers. The shipping method determines how much responsibility you're gonna take on. With ExW, the supplier finishes the product and leaves it at their warehouse. So from there, you gotta get your freight forwarder to pick it up at the warehouse, get it to the port, get it into the sea, get to the other port, do the customs, do everything, and then get it here, get it to the warehouse. If anything happens in between that process, that's on you. So you're relying on your freight forwarder to pick up the entire process. FOB, that stands for free on board. Now this is a much better option. With free on board, the supplier finishes the product, gets it onto the truck, gets it to the port, gets it on the boat, across the ocean, and lands it in the port in America, passing customs, doing all of that. So the supplier is then responsible for the first half of the journey. So now you just need to get your freight forwarder to pick it up from the port already in the States, pick it up with a truck, take it to the Amazon warehouse. A lot less pressure off you, a lot less pressure off the freight forwarder because the supplier is doing the first half of that work. Now this applies only when you're shipping by sea. So what happens when you take the plane? If you're going by air, you're gonna hear DDP, delivered duties paid. Now this is gonna be the most easy, most hands-off way to ship your product. Your supplier will do everything. Make your product, get it onto a truck, get it onto a plane, get it to the Amazon warehouse. Period. Hands off, you're done. It's the most expensive, but least mentally taxing. Now this is what you're gonna be doing if it's your first order. You want that speed, you're going DDP. You'll also hear it called door to door. So meaning literally from the supplier's door to Amazon's door. You now understand understand all the theory that goes behind the shipping process. So let's jump into the computer and create a shipping plan in real life. So now I'm on my computer, and now the first thing you need to click is that like button. Tap that right now for me, and then we can get going. So now we're in Manage Inventory, right? So we logged into Amazon Seller Central. You go to Inventory, Manage Inventory. So at this point, you already have a product listing created, right? You need to have your product listing created to then create a shipping plan for that product. If you don't have a product listing created, then that's beyond the scope of this video, but keep on watching so that when you're ready, you know exactly how this is done. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna click on your product. I can't show you this product right now, but I will one day on this channel. It's a case study that I'm gonna show, okay? So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna click Send Replenish Inventory on this drop down. So now they're asking individual or case pack products. But before we get to that, we need to cover the ship from address. Now I'm gonna assume we're doing DDP, delivering from air, directly from the Chinese manufacturer to Amazon. So in here you can see I have a Beijing address, that is my supplier, okay? Then we're gonna click case packed products. Individual packed products means you're putting a bunch of different items in this box. Hammer, scissors, glasses, all in a box and sent to Amazon. We're obviously not doing that. You're ordering multiples of the same product, all the same product, all in one box. So now we can go continue shipping plan. So now they're asking you how many cases and how many units per case. In this example, this is 1 case, 2 units per case. Let's say 50 units per case and 2 cases. That is 100 total units. Make sure you don't put it backwards and say 2 units and 50 cases. So now we're done this, we're gonna go ahead and press continue. Now it's asking you who is going to prep these products, and you're gonna select merchant. You're prepping them yourself. You're getting your supplier to prep them for you properly. Packaging of the boxes, adding the FN SKUs. Amazon can do it for you, but it's gonna be more costly. You're gonna click choose category, and for some reason my screen doesn't record these pop-ups, but there's a big drop down here and I'm clicking on no prep needed. So now you can go ahead and click continue. Now on this page, Amazon is giving you your FN SKU. The FN SKU is the barcode that you are gonna put on your product. So if I click on that, I can open this, and there is the barcode, the FN SKU that goes onto your product box. So now it's letting you review your shipment. You can then change the name of your shipment, which I would do. So I would go product, and then I'd be like 200 units or whatever the heck you want to name it. It's totally up to you. This is just for your own organization. So now I'm gonna press approve and continue. So it's product 200, it's 1 SKU, it's 2 cases, and it's 100 units total. And now they're telling you that you can ship this to Jefferson. Where's GA? Georgia, got it. All right, Georgia, sorry guys, I'm a Canadian, so I don't know my states. All right, so now you can prepare your shipment, right? So at this point, you have your ship to. So this ship to is the address you're gonna give your supplier. Your supplier is gonna send the product to this address. So now it's small parcel delivery, less than truckload. This is for pallet shipping, which we're not doing. We're doing smaller quantity, right? And because we're shipping straight from China, we cannot use the Amazon partnered carrier. So you're doing other carrier, air, ocean, ground, right? So air, again, if you can't see my drop down, it's just simple drop down, and your carrier. So your carrier is what you're gonna discuss with your supplier. So just put whatever you discussed already, but I'll put DHL. How will this shipment be packed? Multiple boxes, and that's just a simple question. Is it 1 box or do you have multiple boxes? We said we had multiple boxes, right? We said we had 2 boxes, so that's what I selected. And this is a reconfirmation of what we said earlier. So 50 per with 2 boxes. Box weight, sure, 10 pounds. And make sure, I'm putting random stuff in here, but make sure you're actually adding the real dimensions and the real box weight when you do this. At this point, you're gonna click confirm. I don't want to actually do this because this is not a real shipping plan I'm creating, but once you click confirm, what's going to happen is you're going to get the option to print your shipping labels. So you're going to see, you can almost see it grayed out here. There's a button here, print shipping label. Then you're going to print that and it's going to look exactly like the FN SKU page that we have here. And then you're going to send that shipping label to your supplier and the deed is done. Now the supplier is going to put the shipping label on your box. Bam. They're gonna send your box directly to Amazon. Amazon will receive it. Then your page will look like this on Amazon. It'll say received and then closed. Then your product is in Amazon and ready to sell. Now, 3 quick pro tips for you. Number 1, while you're waiting for your shipment, make sure you work on your listing. Have great images, have great copy, and study your keywords. Number 2, if shipping still intimidates you, maybe get a sourcing agent. They can help you find a product, negotiate, and take you through the shipping process. And pro tip number 3, this will absolutely explode your Amazon business if you follow it. Ready? Click my face to subscribe for more no BS content. And if you got time, I definitely watch that video right over there. It's time you learn the truth about Amazon FBA. Because right now, you're looking at about $32,000 in failed Amazon products.